Hi everyone, this video is going to be covering the 30, 60, 90 triangle theorem, special right triangles. Before this, we covered the 45, 45, 90, and now we can move on to the 30, 60, 90 types of right triangles that we are going to be looking at now. So just like the 45, 45, 90 triangle, this triangle is very special with specific angle measures. Starting with the 90-degree angle, of course, which is right here. And hopefully by now we are getting better at identifying the hypotenuse on this triangle. And let's get started. So in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the hypotenuse is twice the length of the short leg, and the long leg is square root of 3 times the length of the short leg. So this one is quite different from the 45, 45, 90. Why is it different? We still have a hypotenuse, okay? So let's label that, the hypotenuse. Across from the 90 degrees, we have our hypotenuse. So I'm just going to abbreviate. And it says that the hypotenuse is twice the length of the short leg. Twice the length of the short leg. Who is the short leg? And if we keep reading, it says the long leg is square root of 3 times the length of the short leg. So I can say that I'm going to have a short leg and I'm going to have a long leg. So that is what is different from these triangles than from the 45, 45, 90. Because in those triangles, our legs were the same. They were the same measurement. And in this one, we have one that is short and we have one that is long. And that obviously means they are not going to be the same measurement. So how are we going to know who's the short leg, who's the long leg? Most of the time, you can kind of see it in the problem. But if we don't have a picture, how are we going to know which one's the short leg, which one's the long leg? Well, that is where the 30 degrees and the 60 degrees come into play. So let's label our 30-degree angle. Most of the time in your problems, you'll have it labeled. But for this part of the notes, let's just label it. This one is going to be 30 degrees. And this one is going to be 60 degrees. So label that. Now, this is where it gets a little technical, so just watch closely. Just like how when I find my hypotenuse, I go across the 90, that is my hypotenuse. We're going to use that same method, but we're going to use this angle first, 30 degrees. Across from the 30 degrees will always be your short leg. Across from the 30 degrees, right here, or anywhere you have it on your problem, will always be the short leg. Okay? Across from the 60 degrees, so take your pencil, go across to the other side. That side will be the long leg. So a good way to remember that is 30 is less than 60, so 30 is across, the short leg is across from the 30, and the long leg is across from the 60, because 60 is obviously greater than 30. And then the third one is our hypotenuse. So notice how there is a difference from what we were doing with the 45, 45, 90. So this is going to be the first step you want to do, is identify who is the hypotenuse, who's the short leg, who's the long leg, and label it. Remember, I told you labeling is important. Okay, and then now we can fill in our equations. So it says that the hypotenuse is twice the length of the short leg. The long leg is square root of 3 times the length of the short leg. So both of these are using the short leg as a reference. So that short leg is going to be x. Okay? The short leg will always be x. And then it says the hypotenuse is twice the length of the short leg. So how do we express twice something in a formula? We say 2 times x. And I didn't put the multiplication sign, but you know it's there. It's invisible, but it's there. 2 times the length of the short leg. My short leg is x, so my hypotenuse is 2 times that. And then the long leg is square root of 3 times the short leg. So it looks like this. Oops. Like that. Okay. So we have x, 2x, and x times the square root of 3. And they go hand in hand with wherever you are located on the triangle. Okay. This is one of the tables that helped a lot of my students learning the 45, 45, 90. So let's fill this one in. And you use it to solve all the problems. So if you're given the short leg and you want to find the hypotenuse, you are going to multiply the short leg by 2. If you want to find if you have the short leg and you want to find the long leg, you're also going to multiply, but not by 2. What do we multiply by? By the square root of 3. Multiply the short leg by the square root of 3, just like it is here. Okay, what if you have the long leg? If the measure given is the long leg and you want the short leg, you are going to divide the long leg by the square root of 3. Okay, and then for the hypotenuse, if you have the hypotenuse and you want the short leg, you're going to divide by 2. Just a whole number 2. Okay, so let's use this table to do our first problem. I'm going to label first. So what did I use for 3? I used orange. Okay, let's look at this triangle. Obviously, we know that across from the 90 is which side? The hypotenuse. Okay. Now, if this triangle says that this is 90 and this is 60, what does this have to be? This side has to be 30 degrees. Okay, label that. Label that in your triangle. Okay, so across from the 30 is your short leg. And across from the 60, put your pencil at the 60, go across, is the long leg. Okay, so what measurement did this problem give me? I'm missing X and I'm missing Y. Which one did they give me? They gave me 12, and that is the long leg. So let's go to my table. I have the long leg, and I only have one option so far for a long leg. If I have the long leg and I want to find the short leg, I need to divide the long leg by the square root of 3. So let's do that. Let's do the math. Divide the long leg, so 12 divided by the square root of 3. That's what it says. All right, and then we're back to another rationalizing problem where I have a square root in the denominator. And the trick and the shortcut is to get rid of it because it cannot be there at the bottom. That is illegal. Put it at the top. What do I write in the bottom? My students should be good at this already by now, please. What do I write at the bottom? Think about it. A 3 without the square root. But am I done? No, we are not done. That is a fraction that can be simplified. What is 12 divided by 3? 4. So my short leg is 4 square root of 3. And that is X. Okay. All right, what about Y? Y is the hypotenuse over here. So I have the short leg, and I want to find the hypotenuse. I just found the short leg right here, 4 square root of 3. And I want to find the hypotenuse. I need to multiply the short leg by 2, just the number 2. So 4 square root of 3. Where's this? Keeps moving. 4 square root of 3 times 2. Okay. Now, you can't multiply square root with a whole number, but you can definitely multiply a whole number with another whole number. So I can only multiply the 4 with the 2. The square root of 3 just stays there. So what is 4 times 2? 8. 8 times the square root of 3. And that is the answer. Sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. For the other problems, here on the side, try to do these on your own. Okay. Check your answers with me or check your answers with your teacher and see if you got them correct. But that is how we do the 30, 60, 90 triangle theorem. I hope you found this video helpful and have a good